in 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Week 4 is done, and we know who's looking good and who's not. There's some concerns that I've been hearing about on Twitter about the Los Angeles Rams. How can they give up 55 points? What's going on with the offensive line? And yeah, are they really struggling with this Super Bowl hangover? We'll talk about all that soon. But the first thing I want to talk about is two dynamic running backs had outstanding week 4s. But let's start in the AFC South with the Jacksonville Jaguars and Leonard Fournette. 225 yards on 29 carries. When you have a running back like that sets the tempo, you have a backup quarterback in that's turning heads, and you have a defense that know how to get it done, and a general manager, yeah, he knows a thing or two as well about winning rings. That means you have a good foundation to build off of. And with Leonard Fournette doing that, knowing he has to face an 8-man box, especially with a backup quarterback in, to have 225 yards on a day, yeah, that's one to brag about for a very long time. Nick Chubb in Cleveland, he did an excellent job. Unbelievable day on the ground with 3 touchdowns. He saw Pater 3 times. Pretty impressive. Not easy to do in the NFL. And Nick has the luxury of having a solid passing game. And yes, they showed up and they showed out, which provided opportunity for Nick to have a career day for himself, averaging over 8 yards a carry. Fantasy football owners, if you had either one of those guys, I'm sure you celebrated with Gatorade all night long, and you might have even had 2 or 3 extra ones on the side. Now let's talk about the difficulties and what everyone was talking about on Twitter and what they couldn't believe. That was the Los Angeles Rams' performance. Let's talk about scheme and let's talk about head coach and familiarity. In the National Football League, Bruce Arians has been in the game for a long time and is actually the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, took them to the NFC Championship. And yes, he's very familiar with the Los Angeles Rams, and yes, some of their talent on that team even today, as well as you have the defensive coordinator that knows a thing or two as well. So when you talk about Todd Bowles and Bruce Arians, you're talking about 2 guys that are very familiar with the Rams organization and how to upset them. Reason they probably had a chance to put up 55 points because the familiarity was there. Although they were in red and wasn't Cardinal red, they saw blood and they went after it. On top of that, Adama Suh had a fumble strip sack. He had a touchdown at least, and he looked pretty good doing so. A lot of payback for him as well as he returned back into Los Angeles. So I caution you all to just want right off the Rams right away. You still have a dynamic running back. You still have an unbelievable coach and the best defensive player in football. Don't get too excited about the way things look in October. The game, they mean something, but just not quite yet. You got to get to divisional play. Yeah, we don't like seeing a performance like that, but I'm sure when you go into that film study on Monday and you get embarrassed the way the Rams did, things will change next week. Trust me.